have to listen to the student what their needs are, as opposed to having a rigid system that imposes.
Music, as they say, is a language that has no barriers. It really transcends state barriers, country barriers, nationalities. Music can reach people and really connect with you to your soul.
Know that you can feel it. And I don't have to sit and tell you anything. You will hear it around you. There is music in that, there is language in that, there is instructions all around you.
Okay, a little bit about myself. I am Chandramouli Narayanan. I'm an immigrant from India with extensive music background. Music runs in our family. I'm a 9th generation descendant from the Karaikudi Veena tradition. And by profession, I have chosen for the more than 3 decades to be a software engineer. And I was practicing music and teaching. And right now, in the last few years, I have been predominantly teaching music to the Indian community in Portland, Oregon. What did you do before? You didn't move at all. That's what you played. The guy is moving. Either way, going up or down, it is moving. You cannot have a flat note. The term Carnatic actually means a few things. One is something that has been passed on from generations and that has stood the test of time. The classical tradition of the southern India that is frequently referred to as Carnatic. I grew up in a family of musicians, so my mother was an 8th descendant from the Karaikudi Veena tradition. I was always used to listening to music when my mother was teaching and students coming in. So I was a student among the students. The much more important thing that happened to me for music is after my marriage to my wife, Srividya, who is incidentally a 10th generation descendant.
I'm Srividya Chandramouli, representing 10th generation of Veena players from South India. It is a tradition called Karaikudi tradition. I have been teaching Carnatic music for the last 35 years, and this is what makes me who I am. This is a traditional art form where I learned from my mother. My grandmother was the first one who took it up as a profession. I vividly remember lying down as she's teaching around the resonator of the instrument and putting my ears to that as she was teaching others.
Hi, I'm Bharani. I'm an engineer by profession. I'm also a parent, a teacher, a music student, and a Dhwani board member. And I've had a couple of teachers back in India when I was learning there, but I wasn't serious about it till I started learning from Srividya Chandramouli and Chandramouli Narayanan.
In the context of Indian music, students need to have a sense of language other than what is publicly spoken outside. In Carnatic music, you will find 4 or 5 typically different languages employed in a composition. The ability to at least speak one of the languages that they are coming from is very important, because you understand what is behind the composition.
The art of learning, teaching, everything was oral, and that had a greater impact on how you perceive of the art or yourself. I generally teach in a small setting, not in a large setting. And every time I take any composition that I want to teach the children, I go back into my childhood. So that is the gift of teaching that I think I imbibed from my mother and my grandmother.
Language is a gateway that allows you to connect with people on a totally different level. It allows you to connect to the music in a different level, because typically the music that is written by various composers is composed in their native language. And we have a circle of friends who also believe in the concepts, who are multilingual. We practice with each other when we get together. The challenges of learning a language that is not natively spoken is you need to have a community to practice it with. If you don't have that, and then the language goes away.
If you look at every culture, they find their languages not being spoken, music not being played on. So a lot of art forms are dying. If you look at why it is important for us to continue this, it is a question that as to who we are. That this is one of those things. It should not be as. Not only that, it is important that with several languages dying so quickly in the global culture that we are living in, it's important we emphasize that you need to have the language. You need to keep it alive.
The other thing that has come in the last 20 years, I would say, is the cell phone and the video games, gadgets. That is the biggest distraction. Ever since the video games became a big part of their after-school activity, what it has given them is the sense of immediate rewards when you win a game. With art, it's not about winning or losing, it's about working all the time. How do you make that an interesting proposition to a child?
So I've been learning for close to 5 years right now. We've had our ups and downs, but it's lots of fun taking lessons from Vidya and Mali Mama.
Teaching the younger generation is challenging not because of the children themselves, but the environment that is provided to them that will allow them to grow. The focus on quantity versus quality. There have been a lot of times that parents themselves have come and asked at how long does this coursework last? When do I get to the next stage? Does it last a year? Does it last 2 years? Right, to get away from that mindset is the biggest challenge. We also belong to a community where and times where people see pride in involving in too many activities. And arts requires creativity. Creativity cannot be spurred by choking people with multitude of activities. You need to give the room to breathe.
Veena traditionally referred to several types of stringed instruments. It is a fretted instrument which has a resonator. It has 4 main strings and 4 side strings. Veena plays a great role in providing the depth and richness of who we are.
I can't even think of holding the instrument. It is just there. It is a space beyond explanation. You are there because you can feel it. So it's a magical experience.
It's like listening to the ocean. Once you are in the wave, how the wave carries you, you maneuver. It is an expansive feeling, and at the same time, it's a very peaceful sensation.
Every person has their own experience. It may be a religious journey, it may be a spiritual journey, and how you want to take it. So it's up to the individual on how they want to progress and experience the music, either through religion or through their own spiritual journey.
I feel I wouldn't trade this for anything. I'm completely independent, teaching, and every student that comes in is the next God I meet.